Alright, welcome back to my channel everyone. Today we are going to dive into a Python project that will create interactive dashboards for analyzing our GCE exams in Cameroon. Now, this dashboard is going to be built using Dash, which is a powerful framework for building web applications in Python. So, I'll walk you through this code step by step, highlighting your best practices and sharing some insights along the way. What are you waiting for? Let's get started. Alright, first off, let's talk about what this project does. We're going to analyze data about GCE centers across Cameroon. The data is stored in multiple CSV files for the centers and also the divisions of the country. That's the regions and the divisions. Now, the goal is to create a dashboard that provides insights into the distribution of those centers through the regions or the divisional statistics, and even analyze the names of those centers for a pattern. Now, this is what we're going to do. We first start by importing the necessary libraries like Dash, Dash Bootstrap components, DBC, and also Pandas, which is very critical for data manipulation. We need to load our data into data frames, clean it up, checking out the column names, stripping them, and also taking care of those leading and trailing spaces. This is a very small step, but it is very important because it ensures that our data is consistent. Now, we need to pre-compute some of those key statistics. For example, we need to calculate the total number of centers, the unique regions and divisions, and we also want to be able to determine how many divisions in Cameroon do not have any centers by comparing the data from our CSVs that we imported. Now, this pre-computation of statistics is best practice because it's going to save us time when we start to render our dashboard. Instead of having to calculate the values every time when they uploads, it's going to compute, and we just get to compute them ahead of time and we use them whenever we need them. Okay? Now, let's talk about the frequency analysis. We need to calculate the frequency of the centers by the regions as well as the divisions or departments. This is going to help us identify the top and bottom regions and also for the top and bottom divisions in terms of the number of centers. So we create this list of the divisions and then we'll also look at those that have no centers at all. Now, using the value counts and the group by functions, we can, or should I say methods, we can make this analysis very straightforward. We also then need to sort the results to get the top and bottoms easily. So the kind of analysis we're doing right now is crucial for understanding the distribution of the resources and also identifying areas that might need more attention. Now, one of the most interesting parts of our project is the analysis of the center names. We look at the specific keywords, maybe denominational words, and even popular towns and capitals in the names of the centers. This is going to give us insights into the types of centers and their affiliations. For example, we can count how many center names include words like government, bilingual, technical, and so on. We can also look for denominational words like Catholic, Protestant, Saint, and you name it. Why do we need this kind of analysis? It's going to help us reveal a pattern that isn't really obvious, when you look at the raw data. So it definitely stands out easily. Now, let's talk about the dashboard itself. Okay, we mentioned that we use Dash Bootstrap components, which is very good for styling. It's going to create clean, responsive layouts for us, and then the dashboard can now be differentiated into several sections. We have the national statistics, the regional and divisional analysis, as well as the center name insights. Each section uses cards, tables to display the data. We've also added custom styles to make the dashboard visually appealing. For example, we use different colors for the top and bottom regions to make the data stand out. Now, for the styling and best practices, we need to be able to define some custom styles for our cards, headers, and tables. This not only makes the dashboard look professional, but also improves the readability. For instance, we use consistent color schemes and add subtle shadows to our cards to make them pop out. Now, the best practice is to keep your layout modular. Each section of the dashboard is defined in its own block, making the code easier to maintain and update. We also use Bootstrap's grid system to ensure that the dashboard looks great on all screen sizes, be it on a wide screen, landscape, portrait, small screen, computer screens, and so on. Finally, we run the app using the app run_server method. This starts the local server where we can view and extract all the dashboard. Or rather, this starts a local server where you can view and interact with your dashboard. The debug equals to true flag is useful for us right now because we're just doing a development. Okay, so it's going to automatically reload the application when you make changes to the code. And that's it. You've just built a fully functional interactive dashboard using Dash. This project is a great example of how Python can be used for data analysis and visualizations. Now, if you haven't done so yet, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, especially if you found this video helpful, because there are more tutorials this week coming just like this for a lot of other libraries and frameworks that you can use to work on data analysis and visualizations with Python. So let me know right down there in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. Until next time, happy coding, and this has been Vitus DK. Guess what? You already know.